All right, you guys. So today, this is all about objection handling mastery. I saw Dan Henry with a shirt on the other day, and I don't know if he's the first one to say it, but the shirt said, "You'll never be broke if you know what to say." And I know my husband doesn't like black and white statements like that, but I was trying to see, is there, that makes sense. I think it makes sense. You'll never be broke if you know what to say. If you have the skill of sales, you'll never be broke. So that's what we're going to tackle today, you guys. This is the module where everything you've been afraid of in your sales conversations becomes the exact thing that makes you money. And we're going to start here with this lesson, because if you don't get this one right, none of the scripts, I'm going to do a series over the next few weeks, and the next 5 lessons are going to work. So before we go anywhere, I want you to look at the title of this lesson, this section. Objections are buying signals. I need you to read that and let it land, because most of you right now hear the word objection and your stomach drops, right? You feel that little wave of dread. You're already bracing, right? Is that relatable to anyone? So by the end of the next, this might be 30 minutes, that feeling is going to be gone. And in its place is going to be something so much more powerful. So let's go.
Hey, stop for a second. Did you know that most people who watch the CEO Glow Show are not even subscribed? What? So, if you are on a mission to level up your beauty business, your family life, your prayer life, hit that subscribe button now so we can stay in touch.
So, if you're hearing objections, congratulations, you're finally in the game. I know that sounds counterintuitive. Most people think that objections are the problem. Most people think that the goal of getting good at sales is to make objections stop happening. But the people who never hear objections are not booked solid. They don't have leads. They're invisible. They don't have a sales problem. They have a nobody is looking at me problem. And that is so much worse. If clients are objecting to you, it means you have traffic. It means clients are evaluating you. They're considering you. They're weighing. They're in motion. And clients in motion can be led. Clients who are in motion, who are in your pipeline, can be closed. So today, we are going to take this thing that's been scaring you, objections, and we're going to flip the entire thing frame by frame. And by the end of this lesson, you're not going to hear objections as rejections. You're going to hear them, hopefully, as an invitation. It's a buying signal. This is the most important lesson of this entire module. So grab a notebook, take this seriously. I was even thinking, you guys, I want to create, just like a side note, just for PRB insiders, flashcards, but digital flashcards. Maybe like, we'll do, because it's kind of like learning your multiplication. It's almost like memorization, but you have to tailor it to your niche and your product and your service. Okay. So, all right, I want to take you back for a moment. It was in my brow studio era, early days. Okay. I just had my first baby, and my husband, who's a teacher, was on summer break. And if you know teachers, who here was an educator or was married to an educator, that means he wasn't getting paid for those months. That's why he became a teacher. He's like, I get summers off. You also have summers not paid. So he always had a summer job, but this was the first year he didn't. And I had decided, without really thinking it through, that I was going to build a business doing brows out of a tiny room, right, in North Hollywood. I was charging $375, $400. To be honest, my prices were going up and down at the time because I was so new. I had spent weeks crafting my Instagram, my pricing menu, the whole thing. And then a woman messaged me. She grilled me. She asked me all the questions. She said she loved my work. And you know how it is. You spend time with them. And when you need rent money, that $400 is a big deal. And then, so I was really banking on this. And then she said, the very thing that every service provider, I think, dreads hearing once I drop price. She said, that's a little more than I was hoping to spend. Do you have anything cheaper? And I want you to understand what happened in my body when she sent that, because I was really banking on $400 plus tip. That's what I needed. It was like the end of the month. Rent was due on, the first, and I was really banking on it. And I was like, I could not have less than that. Who here has been in that situation? Yeah. When you're young and you're starting out, you're like, I really need this. I need the full 400, lady. Like, I need it. So no. So it was a big deal to me. I felt my face get hot. I felt this like wave of shame wash over me. Like she had just looked through me and found me out, almost like I had been caught, like charging too much. Like maybe she was right. Maybe I was overpriced. Maybe I was like, well, who do you think you are? You know that you haven't been doing this a long time. Like, who do you think you are? So I felt very like exposed just because she said, do you have anything cheaper? And I felt like I was positioning myself to be a luxury, studio. But then the fact that she had the nerve to ask if I had anything cheaper made me feel like, oh, she doesn't know I'm not presenting myself that I'm a luxury studio, and you can't do that here. You can't do that here. And you know what I typed back because I was desperate? I said, yes, of course. I dropped my price. I didn't even ask her what her budget was. I didn't explain my value. I didn't even pause. I just folded. And that was a big deal because we really needed that money. And I did it instantly just because she had do you have anything cheaper? And it felt like a verdict. And I was so desperate to be approved of. And I felt so outed. And here's the part that stings even more. She didn't even book. She said, okay, let me think about it. And then she disappeared. She ghosted. I lost the sale. I lost it. And then I lost $150 of my own pricing integrity because I said it now. I said it to somebody in public, and I don't know if she's going to talk to anybody else. She didn't even book. And I was so pissed at myself, at her. It's like, right? I lost a little bit of self-respect all over one interaction. I sat there by my phone thinking, I'm just not cut out for this. And here's what I didn't know then that I want you to know right now. That objection was not a rejection. It was an invitation, and I missed it. I just caved so fast. That's what this whole lesson is about. So we never miss it again. So before we talk about what to do when you hear an objection, we have to talk about why objections feel the way they feel. Because here's the truth. I had to learn the hard way. You don't have a sales problem. I said this in the first module, I think a couple of weeks ago. I said you have a self-concept problem. The objection itself isn't what's costing you the sale. What's costing you the sale is your reaction to it. That's what's costing you the sale. And your reaction is a downstream of your self-concept, of your identity. So before any script, before any framework, before any clever response, we have to install a new identity. One that can hear a price pushback without flinching. One that can let a client say, let me think about it, without spiraling. You need an identity where you can sit in the silence after a price and not collapse. So that's what these next 2 slides are about. The people pleaser trap. Most service providers, especially the talented ones, especially women, especially anyone who started their business out of love for what they do, fall into what I call the people pleaser sales trap. And it goes back to whatever ex-boyfriend told you you're never going to be rich, you're never going to make it. Whatever teacher told you that you're stupid and it's just whatever bullies you had in high school or middle school, it just goes back to that. Okay, this is people pleaser sales. Goes something like this. You went into business because you wanted to help people. You wanted to make them feel beautiful, comfortable, have a better body, have a better home, have better photos, more confident. You wanted to give them something good. So in your mind, the relationship with a client is fundamentally a giving relationship. You give, they receive, everybody leaves happy. But the moment money enters the conversation, something breaks. Suddenly, you're not just giving anymore. You're asking them to pay you. You're asking them to value your time. You're asking them to choose you. Please choose me. And asking for a favor feels uncomfortable. Asking feels needy. Asking feels like imposing on somebody. So when a client pushes back, when they object, when they hesitate, when they say that's expensive, look at the left column on your screen. That's what it feels like. Their objection lands like a verdict. You flinch, you apologize, you over-explain, right? You drop the price even before they pushed. And when you walk away resenting them and resenting yourself, but now you look at the right column, what it actually is. It's not a verdict, actually. It's just unfinished thinking. Remember that. It's unfinished thinking. Their nervous system is probably reading yours, right? Regulated energy. I have a dysregulated HPA axis. For you in the medical field, you guys know what that is. Sometimes mine's dysregulated. So regulated energy holds the price. Premium clients buy from grounded leaders. The root belief that's killing you is right there at the bottom. Their objection means I did something wrong. It doesn't. It never did. And in the next part, I'm going to prove it to you.
You just heard why buying objections are buying signals. But do you know what to actually say when one lands? The full lesson plus 150 more inside my Cash Club subscription walks you through every script, every framework, including the Socratic close that high-end sales pros have used for over hundreds of years. It's my 7-figure blueprint for service providers. The link is in the bio, or just go to sheilabella.com/cashclub25.